Welcome back to Inner Peace Place. I'm Karen. Today's topic is fear of death, which in some cultures is a taboo subject. If you're new to our channel and this topic doesn't resonate with you by the time you finish it, then review some of the earlier ones because it'll fill in some of the terminology, definitions, and some of the verbiage that I'll be using in this lesson. So now that we've been learning to create and or influence our lives into a more peaceful direction, we're able to focus and tune into things in a way that we've never been able to do before. We understand that energy is in all things, and it is in all things without judgment. It is how things are. Energy is at the core of all things. It is a form of isness. So energy just is. It is the core. So if someone dies, or an animal passes away, or a tree dies, the energy continues. It doesn't change at all. The form changes, yes, yes, yes. But the core, the essence, the isness of that individual or pet or tree or whatever did not change at all. There's no loss or reduction in the eyes of the all that is when this occurs. From the all that is, it's a beautiful, comfortable, and completely normal experience. And it's filled with love, no matter what the circumstances are prior to that change in form. The actual death is peaceful. You and I have to change the way we see what occurred. So, by saying that, you and I were connected to this individual's physical form and the physical interactions. The energy that physical form was radiating. And that transition caused us grief, not the individual who passed away. Even the babies, even kids, teenagers. You and I grieve over what we feel is loss. The individual that passes away, no matter what their age, is continuing on. There's no change for them. You and I grieve of the future that was lost if it was a child, that they should have been able to have time to do these particular things because we feel that that's important. You and I grieve because we feel a hole. We feel the missingness. We aren't focusing on the isness. Because when we are in a state of connection to others, we aren't connecting spiritually very often. We're connecting physically. And when the package of an individual changes, in other words, a person transitions into their next stage, it affects us and our ability to cope, and can cause severe shift in our energy, especially if it was sudden onset or unexpected. The current package that the person was housed in doesn't meet our remembered expression of that individual. That was in our past. Our memory of that individual was a physical form, moving, talking, loving, being silly. So we feel grief because we have this expectation of sameness. Our personality self, ego, likes things to be same. It demands the physical form and the environment to be the same. It doesn't like the normal aging process. It doesn't like the environment around us to shift or change as it rains and erodes or whatever causes change in your environment. Maybe bugs eat, termites come and chew on the house a little bit. It's a battle that we cannot win, but it brings a lot of energy. The ego likes energy, remember? Downward spiral energy, and it's learning to like upward spiral energy as we teach it. So death or fear of dying yourself has lots of energy with it, and it likes it. So it will play with thoughts. Thoughts are energy. It will play with thoughts that are fear-based about dying. It enjoys that. And because death is a taboo subject for many of us, we don't discuss it with our friends and family very often to make it a more comfortable, a more knowing vibration. People that have experienced death can talk about death once that grief stage has reached a certain point. People that have not experienced death are usually extremely frightened to discuss death. The reason we feel fear is that the mass consciousness has so much power, and death is final. There's no takebacks. And so when the energy leaves a physical being and continues on its merry way, fear thoughts arise. There are groups of individuals that embrace death, that have a healthy attitude towards death and change. There is a rightness, there is a isness to the moment when someone passes away. One of the most beautiful experiences I ever had was when my grandfather passed away, and I was blessed to be in the home when he did. And the beauty and the flow, and it was such a miracle that I was able to experience that. There was a rightness that I just really can't set words to when that occurred. True hell, in my opinion, would be being stuck or trapped in a physical form that you no longer want to be in. So if people never died, never transitioned, if the growth was only this existence, the boredom, the frustration, and all of these things would be profound, in my opinion. The hard part is allowing someone else to continue on their merry way with their transition without expressing negative emotion, either inwardly or outwardly. Being mad at God, being mad, why did this happen? We never know. We just know it is. And to find a piece of that can bring you joy in knowing that that individual is creating, is engaging in a different adventure, might bring you some peace. Understanding that they are no longer suffering because they aren't on the earth plane, and they are able to be at one with the flow. They're at one with a normal stage of our existence. When it happens, Why it happens, we don't know. It just is. The environment may have caused it. Maybe the physical form was ill. But don't be afraid of it. Anytime you and I do this, that creates bigger energy. We're protecting ourselves from thought about it or seeing it. I don't want to see it. Grandpa is passing away, but I can't be around, whatever it is. Or perhaps it's someone very close to you and you don't want to hold their hand and while they transition because you are afraid of death. That's a personality self-trained response. You were taught that as a child. Don't go there, you might fall and get hurt. Don't do this, don't do this. You can't drive so fast, you might get killed. All of these things, fear, 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 fear. Sit down with those thoughts you have and see if you can embrace them. And the next time you're exposed to a transition of someone or a pet, you can possibly enjoy holding them, comforting them while they're in that state. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. Comment in the section below, or you can email me. My email address is in the comment section. This topic is difficult for many, many people. But it is a beautiful, beautiful shift in energy. I hope some of this resonated with you. Love and light to you and your path. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.